In Yulan City, 3 low-level primordial life armies were already in despair under the formation's cover. They were dying in batches under the invisible curse killing. After their protective layers were penetrated by the chaos fog, the casualties became even more severe. No, Luo Feng Divine Emperor, spare us. We are just trying to survive, spare us. These low-level primordial lives, no longer able to threaten, one by one begged for mercy. However, watching this scene, Luo Feng did not show the slightest mercy. Since the era of the primordial cosmos, Luo Feng had experienced numerous wars between races. The enemy's pleas for mercy could not shake him in the slightest. You want me to spare you? But who spared the 16 million cultivators who died? Luo Feng thought to himself. Those over 16 million cultivators were slaughtered with no power to resist. These innate primordial lives, born to break out of the braided cage, Luo Feng sighed secretly, even though they are the weakest low-level primordial lives, forming several armies. They can still slaughter cultivators at will. Cultivators are generally weaker than innate primordial lives. Even in the infinite primordial space, the cultivator camp is weaker than the innate primordial life camp. Seniors like Senior Yuan and Senior Jin stood at the forefront, shielding the entire cultivator camp from the wind and rain. No need to think too much. Even I haven't broken out of the braided cage yet, so what use is thinking so much? Luo Feng laughed at himself, flipping his hand to collect all the corpses of the low-level primordial life army in front of him. He is still too weak now. Any high-level primordial life might be able to seriously pollute him with just one look, like the Yuan Xiong Palace Master. Still too weak. After Luo Feng collected the corpses left by the 3 armies, some of the elders were somewhat envious, but none dared to question. The City Lord's formation has dramatically increased in power, making it impossible for these low-level primordial life armies to escape. The City Lord's solo formation setting is several times stronger than what our 300+ elders combined could do. Even 1,000 elders ... probably couldn't match the City Lord. The elders were all very aware. A city like Yulan City, the core formation layer has a maximum of 1,000 blank layers, including the City Lord, Hall Masters, and the Elders. So the limit for Elder positions is just over 900. Of course, the resources and benefits of a city cannot attract that many Elders. If there were too many Elders, the share for each would be too small. In the entire 9 Rivers Sacred Realm, 35 cities, besides the Yuan Xiong Palace Master, only 2 others mastered a half-primordial level path, and they just sent avatars to stay, rarely taking action. Luo Feng collected the many corpses of the 3 low-level primordial life armies and slightly estimated the value, unable to help but marvel. At this level, they indeed look down on the benefits the City Lord position brings. The resources allocated to the City Lord of Yulan City were indeed the most, but does the Yuan Xiong Palace Master care? At his pinnacle, the Yuan Xiong Palace Master often hunted super limit level and Divine Emperor perfection level beings. With the long years of accumulation, his resources were naturally vast, and the wealth far exceeded the Wei Yon Palace Master and Master Gai Dao. Those at the same level as the Yuan Xiong Palace Master, which one is not extremely wealthy. Due to the war in Yulan City, Luo Feng harvested a great deal of spoils of war rapidly and became extremely wealthy, quickly realizing that the share of resources from Yulan City was indeed not very tempting. In the world of cultivators, the ability to obtain resources is vastly different across levels. Luo Feng also understood the mindset of the Yuan Xiong Palace Master more. The formations in Yulan City all retracted, and the chaos fog between heaven and earth also dissipated. Is the war over? The cultivators in the city were somewhat uneasy. They carefully observed all directions through their cave mansion formations, but could no longer see any low-level primordial lives. It seems to be over. There hasn't been any significant commotion in Yulan City either. Emperor Qing, Emperor Ming, and Di Fu were also observing. Suddenly, all cultivators of Yulan City. A voice echoed throughout the city. I am Luo Feng, the new City Lord of Yulan City. From now on, all cultivators can freely leave the cave mansions. Yulan City is back to normal, and there is no need to worrying about those low-level primordial lives anymore. A few simple sentences echoed in every corner of Yulan City, stirring excitement among the cultivators in the city. We won. The war was won. Luo Feng, The City Lord of Yulan City. Our Yulan City always had no City Lord before. Now there's a City Lord. The cultivators in the city were excited and celebrating, though also quite curious. As the city builder, the Yuan Xion Palace Master never took on the title of City Lord due to severe soul pollution, having long discreetly spread word of wanting to choose a City Lord for Yulan City. This was also the reason for Wei Yuan Palace Master's ambitiousness. No matter who becomes the City Lord, as long as they can protect Yulan City, they are a good City Lord. Many cultivators came out of their cave mansions. The sky over Yulan City still had colorful formations providing protection, with light rain falling as if washing away the city's original fear, ferocity, and madness, restoring everything to peace. We are still alive. The city was broken, but we still won and survived. Many cultivators felt a sense of emotion. They all understood that with the city broken, such low casualties were incredibly rare. This new City Lord must be quite extraordinary. We don't know yet what strength this City Lord Luo Feng possesses. Many cultivators were curious, not knowing the detailed situation of the war or Luo Feng's strength. But in a critical moment, taking over as City Lord and protecting the vast majority of cultivators in Yulan City made the cultivators very grateful and supportive of this City Lord. Life in Yulan City began to return to normal, with the Elder Hall overseeing the repairs in areas damaged by the war. This war was stirred up by those super limit levels. Luo Feng's strongest avatar had already quietly left the city. Earlier, when the 4 super limit levels fled, Luo Feng had arranged for his avatar to follow them from afar. Now it was time to harvest them one by one. In the Elder Hall of Yulan City, Luo Feng sat in the main seat, with the Yuan Xion Palace Master sitting beside him. The surrounding elders were all quite excited, very satisfied with the outcome of this battle. City Lord. Suddenly, the Insect Nest Master, in the form of a woman, stepped forward from the crowd of elders. Insect Nest Master. Luo Feng looked at her, knowing her information and disliking her. This kind of destroyer demon type was, in Luo Feng's judgment, one of those to be killed categories. Unfortunately, the opponent was a powerhouse from the source world, so Luo Feng couldn't completely kill her. City Lord. The Insect Nest Master smiled slightly. Earlier, I offended the City Lord. I also know that this kind of cultivator not liked by the City Lord. I am aware of my situation. This war is over, and while defending the city, I gave my all without any slack. Now that the work is done, I am willing to offer all my resources in Yulan City to the City Lord. As for myself, I will forever leave the 9 Rivers Sacred Realm. The Insect Nest Master smiled slightly, and after saying this, her body naturally dissipated. Her avatars in the 9 Rivers Sacred Realm all self-destructed, taking no treasures or resources. Luo Feng was slightly surprised to see this scene. The Insect Nest Master had devoured countless souls, her cultivation path evil and terrifying, and Luo Feng indeed disliked her. But at this moment, the Insect Nest Master had first obediently defended the city, then relinquished all, and finally left the 9 Rivers Sacred Realm completely, surprising Luo Feng with her decisiveness. To become such a terrifying demon, she is indeed remarkable. Luo Feng thought. City Lord, I too am willing to offer all my resources in Yulan City to the City Lord and, in the future, will forever leave the 9 Rivers Sacred Realm. The Master of the Shadow Tower also stood up and bowed slightly. It is a fortune for me, Wan Ying, to know the City Lord. I too will forever leave the 9 Rivers Sacred Realm. The Master of Deceit Workshop also stood up and bowed slightly. I believe the City Lord does not wish for raiding forces to continue existing in Yulan City. The Master of the Shadow Tower and the Master of Deceit Workshop both self-destructed their avatars, choosing to leave the 9 Rivers Sacred Realm forever. At their level, a simple observation could confirm Luo Feng's way of doing things. Previously serving as the Heaven Patrol Palace Commander, Luo Feng did not wish to oppress any cultivators and even fully protected as many cultivators as possible while defending the city. Such a City Lord could not tolerate these raiding forces. The other two are fine, but the Master of Deceit Workshop is quite promising. The Yuan Xiong Palace Master watched the scene and said, a little restraint, and Deceit Workshop's actions will be much more measured. His character was different from Luo Feng's. He could tolerate those demons and raiders. Cultivators come from different worlds and have different growth environments. Yuan Xiong Palace Master said, some worlds force cultivators to become demons, tolerate different types of cultivators a little. After all, such cultivators are plentiful. The Yuan Xiong Palace Master looked at Luo Feng. Luo Feng smiled, plentiful. I cannot manage so many. But in Yulan City, there's no need for raiding and stealing forces. His capabilities were limited. But he naturally had to manage within his purview. What should be killed, and what should be driven away should be driven away. The original world's environment forced them into becoming demons. But the Nine Rivers Sacred Realm did not force them. Since Luo Feng decided to be this city lord, he would not tolerate these forces in his city. Luo Feng's words made the surrounding elders exchange glances. They all understood that Luo Feng's influence would far exceed the previous 3 Hall Masters, because he alone could destroy all resistance forces in the city. So when Luo Feng said it, it meant that Yulan City would no longer have any soil for the survival of raiding and stealing forces. This city lord Luo's character is much stronger than the previous 3 Hall Masters. The previous 3 Hall Masters always needed to consider the elders. But this city lord Luo, despite seeming to have a good temper, when he decides something, no elder can oppose it. The elders, from just a few words by Luo Feng, felt that unstoppable will. Your ambition is much stronger than mine. The Yuan Xiong Palace Master looked and praised. However, individual strength is ultimately limited. Even if one breaks out of the braided cage, it's difficult to change much. Luo Feng smiled, saying nothing more. Individual strength is ultimately limited. That's just because the cultivation isn't strong enough. Oh, right. The Yuan Xiong Palace Master suddenly recalled, I sought aid from the Dark Sacred Realm, and they sent a cultivation team. The team is still on its way. I need to contact them first. Only a few breaths of time. This cultivation team has arrived in the Nine Rivers Sacred Realm. The Yuan Xiong Palace Master looked up at Luo Feng in surprise, and they are heading toward Yulan City. They will probably arrive in less than half a day.